Imagine for a moment that everything around you vibrates. This is not just a poetic idea or an abstract metaphor, it's the profound reality of our universe. Every cell, every atom, every thought, everything is vibrating, moving, and interacting in an invisible dance of energy. And you, as part of this vast cosmic symphony, are also vibrating. This vibration is not merely a consequence of what happens around you. It defines your life experience, determines how you feel, what you attract, and even how you perceive the world. There's a saying by the great Nikola Tesla that captures the essence of this concept. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is the key to understanding why some people seem to be magnets for good things while others constantly struggle against an invisible current. Your vibrational frequency creates the reality you experience, and this is what we'll talk about today. I want to guide you on this journey of self-discovery and expansion. The idea of raising your vibration may seem abstract, but it is profoundly practical. Imagine you are tuning into a radio station. When you adjust the frequency correctly, the music sounds clear and harmonious. But if the frequency is off, all you hear is noise, static, and disconnection. Life works the same way. When we adjust our vibration to higher frequencies, like those of peace, love, and gratitude, our life experience transforms. Everything becomes more fluid, lighter. You feel in sync with the flow of existence, and even challenges seem to have a deeper purpose. Our goal here is to learn how to regulate this internal station, to tune our frequency to the highest possible levels, accessing a full, meaningful, and harmonious life. I want you to feel the power of your personal energy and understand that by changing your vibration, you change everything around you. Because in the end, what we vibrate is what defines us. It's our mark in the universe. So, as we continue this conversation, think about how your current energy is impacting your life. What vibrations are you emitting? Are you resonating with what you wish to attract? Each thought, each emotion has an energetic signature, and your mission from now on is to learn to shape this signature in order to attract the most authentic and expansive version of your existence. Scientists and spiritual masters, separated by centuries of history, are beginning to agree on a fundamental point. Everything is energy. Quantum physics, one of the most advanced disciplines of modern science, reveals that the material universe, so solid to our senses, is actually a vast field of energy. As we delve into this microscopic level, we see that matter dissolves into vibrations, particles that appear and disappear like notes in a universal symphony. There's an impressive connection between these teachings of quantum physics and the wisdom of ancient spiritual masters. Ancient Vedic texts, for instance, spoke of the existence of prana, the life force that permeates everything. In Taoism, the concept of qi leads us to this understanding of the energy flow that animates life. Somehow, these ancient sages had already grasped what scientists are now able to measure. Energy is always in motion, and the vibrations of this energy determine what we experience as reality. When we talk about resonance, we're talking about our own energy's ability to vibrate in harmony with the things around us. This means that in order to attract positive experiences, we need to resonate with those same experiences. If you've ever felt that when you think of something positive, good things start happening almost miraculously, you've experienced the power of resonance. Your vibrational frequency was aligned, and the universe responded. Similarly, you may have noticed how, on days when we wake up in a bad mood, it seems everything goes wrong. The bus is late, the coffee spills, someone treats us poorly at work. These experiences aren't mere coincidences. They are direct expressions of our energy, of our vibrations at that specific moment. This is the central concept. Our frequency creates our reality. What quantum physics teaches us, combined with what ancient masters have always said, is that the universe responds to our vibration. We are like magnets, attracting what vibrates similarly. So, if we desire a life of more peace, prosperity, and love, we must learn to elevate our frequency to resonate with these states of being. Imagine your vibration as a key that opens different doors. If we want to access the door of joy, we need the key of high vibration forged through our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. The beauty of all this is that we are not victims of chance or circumstances. We can choose to elevate our vibration. We can consciously decide to adjust our frequency, and this changes everything. It's a practice that requires attention and dedication, but it gives us immense power over our own destiny. Modern physics reminds us that matter is energy in different states of vibration. Likewise, our lives can transform when we choose to vibrate at a higher level, accessing new possibilities and tuning into a flow of abundance and well-being. In this way, think of your energy as a musical instrument. If you're not in tune, the music you create will be dissonant. Tuning your instrument means being attentive to your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It means choosing, in every moment, to connect with what vibrates at a higher level. And by doing this, life, like a well-composed melody, becomes harmonious, beautiful, and full. Now let's explore emotions and how they directly relate to our vibration. Imagine our emotions as a map, a spectrum that extends from the lowest vibrations to the highest. Each emotion carries a unique vibrational signature, and these signatures determine the quality of our life experience. Feelings like fear, anger, and guilt, for instance, vibrate at very low frequencies, while emotions like love, joy, and gratitude vibrate at an extremely high frequency, elevating our energy and connecting us with the natural flow of the universe. We can visualize this emotional spectrum as a ladder. At the bottom, in the densest vibrations, are the emotions that make us feel heavy, withdrawn, as if we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. These are emotions like shame, resentment, and apathy. These emotions push us away from our true essence, clouding our ability to see the beauty that is always present around us. But as we climb the rungs of this emotional ladder, we begin to feel relief. Acceptance, forgiveness, and compassion move us up, and love and gratitude lift us even higher, placing us in a state of expansion where everything seems to flow easily. But how do we deal with emotions that keep us stuck on the lower rungs? Here we find deep wisdom in the teachings of Stoic philosophy and Eastern traditions. The Stoics spoke about the importance of recognizing and accepting our emotions without being dominated by them. They understood that by resisting a negative emotion, we end up amplifying its power over us. The key then lies in observing our emotions with a kind of compassionate curiosity, accepting their presence without judgment, without feeding the drama. Similarly, Buddhism teaches about impermanence, the idea that all emotions are transient, like clouds passing through the sky of our mind. Knowing this helps us not to cling to what we feel, allowing emotions to simply follow their natural course. Think of your emotions as the wind blowing over the surface of a lake. When we are reactive, it's as if a strong wind is stirring the waters, creating waves, foam, and storms. But when we learn to simply observe, like the wise person sitting by the lake, the wind calms down and the waters become still. The surface becomes tranquil, and it is in this serene state that we can reflect the sunlight, the light of our true essence. To raise our vibration, we need to understand that each emotion offers us a choice. We can let ourselves be swept away by the current of a negative emotion, or we can choose to act consciously, taking small steps toward a higher emotional state. This is where gratitude plays such a powerful role. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a practice. When we consciously choose to focus on what is positive, even amidst difficulties, we are moving toward a higher frequency. Gratitude transforms. It allows us to see what was previously hidden, opening our eyes to the abundance present in every moment. Thus, this map of emotions not only shows us where we are but also where we can go. Emotions are indicators. They are not absolute truths. They do not define us but guide us. If we feel lost, we can use the compass of acceptance and gratitude to find our way back. With practice, this emotional ascent becomes easier, and each rung we climb brings us closer to a higher version of ourselves, a version vibrating with peace, purpose, and joy. Now, let's talk about daily practices that help us elevate our vibration. Practices we can incorporate into our routines to live more consciously, connected, and expansively. These are simple yet extremely powerful tools that allow us to raise our frequency and transform our life experience, little by little, day by day. Imagine that each day is an opportunity to recalibrate your energy. Upon waking, your vibrational state is like a blank canvas, ready to be filled with the colors of your intentions, thoughts, and actions. The practice of yoga, for example, is a wonderful way to start the day by adjusting this frequency. It's not just about stretching the body, it's about connecting body and mind in a dance of conscious movement. Each posture, each breath creates space within us, releasing tension and clearing the way for vital energy to flow freely. This practice teaches us to be flexible, not only physically but mentally, to let go, to release, to allow energy to move through us without resistance. Conscious breathing is another fundamental practice. It is the anchor that brings us back to the present moment. How many times throughout the day do we find ourselves breathing shallowly, as if the air is merely scratching the surface of our lungs? Breathing deeply and consciously is a way of reminding our body that we are safe, that we are present. Breath is the thread that connects us to here and now. When we breathe deeply, we send signals of calm to the nervous system, reducing stress and elevating our frequency. Each inhalation can be seen as an opportunity to absorb positive energy, and each exhalation as a moment to release what no longer serves us. Another important aspect of raising our vibration is nutrition. Fresh, natural foods carry the vital energy of the sun, earth, wind, and water. Eating is a sacred act. It's a way to receive the energy of nature, to absorb the life force from the elements that cultivate life. Processed foods, laden with chemicals and artificial substances, disconnect us from this natural force, while fresh foods like fruits, vegetables, and greens bring us vitality and help us maintain a high frequency. Eating consciously, expressing gratitude for each meal, is a way to honor this energetic exchange with the universe. Grounding is another deeply transformative practice. We live in a world where most of us spend the majority of our time indoors, away from direct contact with nature. But the earth is an immense reservoir of healing energy. Walking barefoot on grass, sand, or even soil reconnects us with the planet's primordial energy. We feel the stabilizing force of the earth, helping us release accumulated electrical charges and find our center. The sensation of stepping barefoot on the ground, feeling its texture and temperature, reminds us that we are part of this vast living organism that is planet Earth. Another powerful practice is intentional contact with nature. Walking among trees, listening to the sound of flowing water, observing a sunset, all these experiences help us restore our energetic balance. When we are in nature, we are reminded of the simplicity and perfection of the natural flow of life. Everything happens at its own pace, without haste, without anxiety. Nature teaches us to trust, to perceive that there is a right time for everything, and that we are also part of this larger flow. Finally, there's the power of meditation. Meditating is not about emptying the mind completely, it's about finding a space of calm within the chaos. It's allowing oneself to sit in silence and observe. Observe thoughts, emotions, the body. Meditation offers us a refuge, a space where we can reconnect with our true self, that which exists beyond the noise and worries of daily life. This state of presence allows us to perceive our current vibration and consciously choose to elevate that frequency. All these practices are ways to cultivate a higher vibration, to stay connected to what is pure and true within us and around us. It's not about perfection or being in an elevated state all the time. We are human and we will have good days and bad. But by cultivating these practices, we become more resilient, more capable of returning to our center. And it's this vibrational resilience that allows us to live with more harmony, purpose, and joy. The people around us have a profound impact on our vibrational frequency. We are social beings by nature, and thus our energy tends to align, consciously or unconsciously, with the energies of those surrounding us. Imagine for a moment that you are a flame and the people around you are also flames. If you're in an environment surrounded by strong, vibrant flames, your light naturally grows, expands, and warms everything around you. However, if the flames around you are dim or weak, your own light may start to flicker. This is exactly how our daily energetic interactions work. Relationships are powerful, and the energetic alignment that occurs between people can either elevate us or pull us down. Think of that moment when you were happy and hopeful, but after a conversation filled with negativity with someone, you felt your energy wilt. This influence occurs because when we interact, we are constantly exchanging energies, absorbing part of the other's frequency, whether positive or negative. That's why it's so important to be careful and conscious of the energies we expose ourselves to. Setting boundaries is not just an act of self-preservation, it's also an act of self-love and care for our vibration. When we decide to set healthy boundaries, we are telling the universe that our energy is sacred, that it deserves to be nurtured and protected. Learning to say no to situations or people that constantly drain our energy is essential for keeping our frequency in a high state. This doesn't mean distancing ourselves from everyone facing difficulties, but rather learning not to absorb what doesn't belong to us, to protect ourselves from what isn't ours, and to offer support without losing our own light. It's also essential to seek out relationships that elevate us, that inspire us, and that help us grow. People who vibrate at a high frequency are those who see the best in us, who encourage us to follow our dreams, and who support us with authenticity and joy. These people are like beacons, illuminating the path and helping us see our own shine. Surrounding ourselves with a high vibration community means connecting with those who share the same pursuit of elevation, a greater purpose, a more conscious life. These communities can be found in meditation groups, spiritual study circles, or even in friendships you choose to cultivate consciously. When we connect with people who vibrate high, our own energy is amplified. It's as if there's a synergy between all these energies, creating an even stronger and higher collective field. Thus, each of us benefits from the energy of the other, and the collective functions as an amplifier for our best intentions. It's no coincidence that many spiritual masters speak about the power of communion, about the importance of gathering with others to practice, meditate, and celebrate life. The energy generated by a harmonious group is much greater than the sum of individual energies. It is exponential. Sometimes, we need to make difficult choices about who we allow into our lives. If a relationship becomes consistently toxic, draining our energy, we need to reflect on its real impact on our well-being. We can be grateful for the lessons learned and at the same time choose to follow a different path. Letting go of a relationship that doesn't elevate us is an act of courage and love, both for ourselves and for the other person who may also need new paths to grow. On the other hand, when we cultivate relationships that harmonize with our frequency, we are creating a virtuous circle. In environments where everyone seeks to uplift one another, there is a sense of belonging and alignment. The relationships that elevate us are those in which we feel accepted and supported, but also challenged to be better. They are those where we can be vulnerable, where love has no masks, and where everyone can express their truth. And it is in this environment of trust and unconditional love that we grow, that we elevate our vibrations naturally, effortlessly, just by being ourselves. In summary, we are deeply influenced by the energies around us, and the choice of who surrounds us is one of the most important decisions we can make on our elevation journey. By seeking high vibration relationships, by setting healthy boundaries, and by connecting with communities that share the same purpose of elevation, we create the conditions for our own light to shine ever more brightly. Because, in the end, it is through our connections that we grow and transform. And by surrounding ourselves with people who also seek to vibrate high, we are contributing not only to our own elevation but to the elevation of all those around us. Finding and following your life purpose is perhaps one of the most powerful ways to raise your vibration. When we are aligned with our purpose, there is a clear sense of flow, as if the universe is conspiring in our favor, as if every step we take is being guided by a greater force. It's a feeling of meaning, of connection, that elevates our energy in a way that few things can. But after all, what is this life purpose? For many, this question sounds almost intimidating, as if we're talking about a great mission, a grand calling that we need to discover at all costs. However, life purpose does not need to be something enormous in the eyes of the world. It is simply that which makes your heart vibrate, that which makes your eyes shine and fills your soul with life. It can be something that benefits many people, or just something that brings beauty and harmony to you and those close to you. Purpose exists in both the small and the great, and more than that, it is always in constant evolution. Self-discovery practices, such as meditation and reflective writing, are powerful tools to help us find this purpose. Meditation allows us to hear our inner voice, which often gets lost in the noise of the outside world and the expectations of others. When we allow ourselves to sit in silence and listen, we begin to hear the deepest desires of our heart. We start to realize what truly matters. Meditation creates the necessary space for us to reconnect with our essence, with our mission, even if still subtly and intuitively. Reflective writing, on the other hand, is a way to bring clarity to what we feel. Writing about what makes us happy, about our dreams, about the moments we feel most alive helps to reveal what is often hidden in our minds. The words on paper bring a sense of concreteness, as if they are drawing the map of the path to be followed. Simple questions like, what makes my heart beat faster? Or how can I serve the world in a way that makes me feel fulfilled? Can reveal profound insights and open doors to surprising discoveries. Following your life purpose is also a natural way to raise your vibration because by doing so, we become a more authentic version of ourselves. When we are connected to who we truly are, energy flows without blockages because we are not trying to fit into patterns that aren't ours. We are simply being who we came to be. This state of alignment puts us in tune with the energy of the universe, connecting us to a flow of opportunities, synchronicities, and moments of pure inspiration. Moreover, part of this purpose includes the act of serving others. No matter what your talent or skill may be, there is always a way to use it for the good of the collective, to uplift those around you. Altruism is a highly valued spiritual practice, as it pulls us out of our limited perspective and places us in a place of interconnectedness, of unity. When we serve, we are creating bridges. We are expanding our energy beyond the limits of our own ego. The act of giving, sharing our time, energy, and resources with others is one of the most direct ways to elevate our vibration. By helping someone, whether by listening, offering advice, or simply being present, we are creating a high-frequency connection of love and compassion. Serving others also helps us remember that we are part of something much larger. It makes us feel that our actions have an impact, that our choices matter not just for us but for the collective. And this awareness places us in a state of gratitude and humility, connecting us to the feeling that by helping others, we are also helping ourselves. Because, in the end, we are all expressions of the same energy, parts of the same vibrational web that connects every being, every heart. Finding your purpose and living it is a way to elevate your vibration because it is a commitment to your truth. It's like a guiding star that illuminates the path, even on the hardest days. It's something that transcends momentary difficulties, that brings meaning and purpose, that makes us rise every morning with new motivation, with the certainty that we are doing what we came here to do. Therefore, allow yourself to dive into this search with curiosity and courage. Don't worry about defining a fixed purpose, but follow that which makes your spirit vibrate, that which brings light to your days. And remember, purpose is not an endpoint. It's a path. It's the way we choose to move through the world, how we choose to share our energy with everything around us. By aligning with this purpose, we elevate our frequency and connect to the greatness of the universe, living a fuller, more conscious life, rich in meaning. Now, let's talk about the importance of reprogramming the mind and mental detoxification. We live in an age where information hits us every second from all sides. From the incessant news to social media, we are constantly exposed to stimuli that often generate anxiety, distraction, and even hopelessness. To raise our vibration, we need to learn to take care of what we allow into our minds, to consciously choose the thoughts and influences that nourish our being, and to free ourselves from the limiting beliefs we have carried for so long. Imagine your mind as a garden. Each thought you have is like a seed. Some thoughts are seeds of flowers that grow and bloom, bringing beauty and harmony. Other thoughts are like weeds that, if left unchecked, spread and suffocate the growth of all that is beautiful. Mental detoxification is like being the caretaker of this garden. It's the practice of removing the weeds and making space for the flowers to grow. This begins with a deep attention to what we think, what we say, and what we consume in terms of information. Social media, for example, can be an incredible tool for connection but can also be a constant source of comparison and anxiety. Continuous exposure to perfect lives displayed on screens can make us feel that we are not good enough, that we lack something to be happy. By feeding these feelings, we allow our vibrations to decrease, making our energy become dense and disharmonious. Detoxifying mentally might mean limiting the use of these networks, carefully choosing the content we consume, and, above all, remembering that what we see there is just a small part of reality, often a carefully edited part. Another powerful way to detoxify the mind is to practice silence. We live in such a noisy world that we often forget the value of silence. Setting aside a few minutes each day to simply be in silence, without television, music, or conversation, is a way to allow our minds to organize, for thoughts to find their place and for calm to settle in. In silence, we can hear our own inner voice, which is often drowned out by the amount of information we receive. This silence is a balm for the mind, allowing us to reconnect with our true essence. Reprogramming the mind is another essential step. We all carry beliefs that we often don't even realize are there but that limit our ability to elevate our vibration and live fully. These are beliefs inherited from family, society, and past experiences, often saying things like, "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve to be loved," or "life is hard and full of suffering." These beliefs are like old programs running in the background, influencing our actions and emotions in subtle yet powerful ways. Reprogramming the mind is a way to clear these programs and install new beliefs that align with our truth and potential. One of the most effective ways to reprogram the mind is through positive affirmations. Affirmations work because when we consciously repeat a new idea, we begin to rewrite the old patterns that inhabit our subconscious. The subconscious mind, where these beliefs reside, does not distinguish between the real and the imagined. So, by repeatedly affirming something like, "I am worthy of love and abundance," or "I am capable of creating the life I desire," we are actually installing a new belief. We are creating a new truth for ourselves. This practice doesn't work like magic. It requires consistency and intention. But over time, our minds begin to accept these new ideas, and our vibrations elevate because we start believing in our own potential. Practices like meditation and hypnosis are also powerful tools to access and transform subconscious patterns. Meditation helps us observe our thoughts without identifying with them, creating a space between who we are and what we think. This space gives us the freedom to choose. We can continue to feed a thought that doesn't serve us, or we can let it go like a cloud passing in the sky. Hypnosis is a direct way to access the subconscious and replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Both practices have the power to transform our minds, to release what is blocking our growth, and to help us achieve a state of peace and clarity. In a world so full of distractions and external influences, detoxifying the mind and reprogramming it is an act of spiritual rebellion. It is choosing consciously what we want to believe, how we want to live, and what kind of energy we want to emit into the world. By detoxifying the mind from excess information and negativity, we are, in fact, cultivating a fertile space where only that which is true, beautiful, and meaningful can grow. And by reprogramming our minds with new beliefs, we are choosing to create a reality that reflects our highest essence. Reflect on what thoughts and beliefs you have been nourishing, and choose to cultivate only that which brings light to your mental garden. And remember, just as tending to a garden requires daily dedication, taking care of the mind is a continuous job. But it is also a deeply rewarding journey that allows us to live in a state of peace, purpose, and high vibration. Let's now explore the connection to the divine and the importance of synchronicity in our lives. Imagine life as an intricate tapestry, where each thread is interwoven precisely, connecting everything and everyone. Sometimes we are so caught up in the details of our days that we fail to see the grand pattern unfolding before us. It's like looking at a famous painting up close and seeing only smudges of paint without perceiving the beauty of the whole picture. But there are moments when, for a brief instant, we can step back and see the invisible lines that connect events, people, feelings. These moments are synchronicities. Synchronicities are like whispers from the universe, signs that we are on the right path, aligned with our essence and the greater purpose of our soul. They are those coincidences that seem so significant that they cannot just be the work of chance. Like meeting someone who inspires you just when you need motivation, or receiving a message at the exact moment you were thinking of something specific. These occurrences are invitations from the universe to recognize that there is a greater intelligence guiding everything, that life is much more than what we see in a linear way. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, was one of the first to bring the concept of synchronicity to Western psychology. He believed that these significant coincidences revealed an alignment between our inner world and the outer world. When our vibration is high, we are in tune with the universe, and life responds to us with these signs. It's as if we become part of a cosmic choreography, where every step we take is followed by a graceful response from the universe, showing us that we are not alone, that we are part of something much greater. Being attentive to these synchronicities requires an open heart, a willingness to perceive the magic that surrounds us. We need to cultivate curiosity and, above all, faith, not necessarily religious faith, but faith in the flow of life, in the intelligence of the universe. It is this faith that allows us to see that, even in the most challenging moments, there is meaning, there is a lesson, there is something greater happening. Synchronicity reminds us that there is a purpose in encounters, in misunderstandings, and even in difficulties, and that each detail is part of a plan that, although not always understandable, is always perfect. To strengthen this connection with the divine and increase the frequency of synchronicities, there are spiritual practices we can incorporate into our daily lives. One of them is meditation. Meditation connects us to the inner silence, where we can feel the presence of this greater force guiding us. When we meditate, we quiet our minds and open ourselves to hear not only thoughts but also intuition, which is often the voice of the divine speaking within us. This practice helps us tune into the frequency of universal wisdom, creating an open channel to receive the messages life wants to give us. Mantras are also a powerful way to connect to the divine. Sound is a form of vibration, and mantras are specific words or phrases that, when repeated, create a resonance that elevates our frequency. The act of chanting or reciting a mantra helps us align our energy with universal energy, connecting us directly to the flow of the divine. Mantras like Om are considered primordial sounds capable of reconnecting us with the very heart of the universe, bringing peace, clarity, and a sense of unity. Another practice that helps strengthen our connection with the divine is visualization. Visualizing oneself in a state of peace, harmony, or visualizing what you wish to manifest in your life creates a resonance with that desired reality. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined, so by visualizing clearly and with feeling, we are creating an energetic field that attracts what we desire. Visualization is also a way to connect with the universe and communicate our wishes and intentions clearly, opening space for synchronicities to manifest. The important thing is that when we connect with the divine, we are not seeking something outside of ourselves. We are, in fact, reconnecting with a part of ourselves that is eternal, infinite, and that has always been there. This part of us knows that we are part of the whole, that we are made of the same essence as the stars, the rivers, and the mountains. When we access this inner space, we feel the connection with everything that exists, and this brings us a deep sense of peace because we realize we are never alone, that we are supported by a force that transcends time and space. The connection with the divine also brings us a profound sense of gratitude. We realize that each moment, each encounter, each overcome difficulty is a gift, an opportunity to grow, to learn, to elevate ourselves. It is this gratitude that further elevates our vibration, allowing us to access states of joy, contentment, and fullness. When we are connected with the divine, life becomes lighter, more fluid, and everything seems to be in the right place at the right time. So pay attention to the signs. Be aware of the coincidences that happen in your life. They are not by chance. They are the language of the universe, a reminder that you are on the right path, that you are in tune with the flow of life. By cultivating spiritual practices that connect you with the divine, you open space for more synchronicities, for more magic in your life. And remember, this connection is always available. It just takes being present, opening your heart, and trusting that the universe is always by your side, guiding each step of your path. Let's now talk about the state of flow and the freedom of being. Flow is a fascinating experience, one of those rare sensations where we lose track of time, space, and effort. We are so immersed in what we are doing that there is no space for worries or anything else but the present moment. It's that state where the mind quiets down and suddenly everything flows almost magically, effortlessly, without force. In that moment, we become channels through which creativity, intuition, and life flow. The concept of flowing instead of forcing has deep roots in many ancient philosophies. Taoism, for example, speaks of Wu Wei, which can be translated as action without effort or non-action. But this is not about passivity or doing nothing. It's about acting in harmony with the natural flow of things, without resisting what is and without trying to force something to happen in a specific way. Think of a river flowing through the landscape. It doesn't force its way through the rocks. It flows around obstacles, following its natural course, adapting and flowing with ease. This is the invitation of the flow state, to move through the world with the same flexibility and acceptance. To enter the flow state, it is essential to be present, fully anchored in the moment. The present is the only place where flow happens. When our minds are trapped in the past or worried about the future, we are disconnected from now and flow becomes impossible. Therefore, the flow state is closely linked to detachment from results, expectations, and the need for control. When we release our attachment to the outcome and simply surrender to the process, we find the freedom to just be. In this freedom, we become truly creative and open to the magic of life. Imagine a child playing. They are not worried about how their play will be perceived by others or whether they are doing something right or wrong. They are simply there, exploring, creating, imagining. As adults, we lose this natural ability to flow because we start imposing expectations, perfectionism, and pressures that distance us from our true essence. Flow is an invitation to return to this state of purity, where the only thing that matters is the experience of the moment, the joy of simply being present and letting life unfold without resistance. The flow state is an elevated way of being in alignment with the universe. It's as if we are swimming in the current of existence, allowing it to take us where we need to go without clinging to the banks, without struggling against the current. This doesn't mean we don't have goals or desires, but it means we don't obsessively cling to the path to achieve them. When we let go of the details of the how and trust in the what we want to create, we begin to perceive that the universe has infinitely more creative ways of guiding us to our destination than our minds could ever imagine. Letting go of results is the key to a lighter and more elevated life. Often, we get lost in worries about whether we will be successful, whether we will be accepted, whether our actions will be validated by others. This constant search for guarantees and certainties creates a state of anxiety and excessive control, which is precisely the opposite of flow. Flow happens when there is trust. Trust in life, in ourselves, in the process. When we trust, we can fully engage in every action without worrying about what will come next. This state of surrender connects us to a higher vibration because we are aligned with the energy of the present, with the pure creativity that flows through us. It's important to remember that the flow state is not something we can force to happen. It is a consequence of being present, of doing something that connects us deeply, of surrendering without expectations. This state can occur while we are working on a creative project, practicing a sport, cooking a meal with love, or even during a meaningful conversation. The essential thing is that there is a sincere connection and a surrender to the moment. The more we can release the shackles of control, the more often we enter this state, and the more naturally our vibration elevates. The philosophy of flow also teaches us about the beauty of the path. When we stop worrying about the destination and begin to appreciate each step of the journey, we realize that happiness is not in arriving somewhere specific, but in how we choose to walk. Life is a river, and each of us is a traveler, navigating the unpredictable waters of existence. We can choose to row against the current, struggling and suffering, or we can choose to align with the flow, allowing life to take us, trusting that we are being guided to where we need to be. Flowing is an act of courage because it requires us to release the ties of control and surrender to the unknown. But paradoxically, it is in this surrender that we find true freedom. The freedom to be exactly who we are, to experience each moment fully without clinging to what should be. And by flowing with life, we discover that everything we need is already here, in the now. The present is the only reality, and it is there that we can find the peace, joy, and meaning we seek. So, allow yourself to flow. Release attachment to outcomes, find joy in the process, and trust that life is always leading you in the right direction. When you align with the flow, your vibration elevates, and existence becomes a harmonious dance, where each movement is perfect, because there is no resistance, only acceptance and freedom. We now come to the moment of reflection on the journey of raising our vibration. Throughout our conversation, we've discussed how each of us carries the responsibility and power to elevate our own energy, the practices and teachings that can guide us, and the depth of this transformative journey. And here, it is essential to remember that this is a journey marked by duality, the constant choice between vibrating at a low frequency of fear, anger, and attachment, or at a high frequency of love, gratitude, and acceptance. Life, in many ways, can be seen as an internal garden that needs to be carefully cultivated. Each thought, every action, every choice is like seeds that we plant in this garden. If we do not take care of the ground, allowing weeds, like resentment and anger, to grow unchecked, our garden can become a dark, suffocating place devoid of beauty. But if we become attentive and loving gardeners, choosing to sow what is most beautiful, like love, compassion, and kindness, then our garden flourishes and our vibration elevates. It's not about avoiding darkness or pretending there are no challenges, but about ensuring that light always prevails, that our soil is fertile enough to nourish what is good. This journey of maintaining and raising our vibration is a daily commitment. Each day presents us with a new opportunity to choose, to adjust our spiritual antennae to catch higher frequencies, as if we are tuning into a radio station. If we leave our antenna misaligned, we will only catch static, the noise of worries, fears, and resentments. But when we consciously tune into the best in ourselves and the universe, our frequency elevates, and we can clearly hear the melody of life, a song made of love, harmony, and purpose. In many moments of life, we encounter this duality between high and low vibration, and we are challenged to choose. Choose to forgive instead of harboring grudges. Choose to express gratitude instead of focusing on what we lack. Choose to act with love even when faced with pain or misunderstanding. These choices are not easy, but they determine the quality of our energy, the type of frequency we emit and, consequently, attract. There's a beautiful metaphor that describes this duality as two wolves living within each of us. One wolf represents anger, fear, and negativity, while the other represents love, hope, and compassion. And when asked which wolf will win, the answer is simple: the one you feed. By feeding the wolf of love, courage, and kindness, we are consciously choosing to vibrate at a higher frequency. And this choice transforms not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. Choosing high vibration is, therefore, an act of responsibility, not just for oneself but for the world. Because by raising your frequency, you become a source of light for others. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. This small flame can illuminate much more than we imagine. When we vibrate in love, compassion, and harmony, we are contributing to elevating the energy of the collective. We are creating an energetic field where others can also be inspired and align with that frequency. We are all interconnected, and our vibration influences the whole. However, it's important to remember that no one can maintain a high vibration all the time, and that's okay. We are human, and life is a constant dance between light and shadow, between highs and lows. The key is to have compassion for ourselves, to recognize when we fall, and to choose with patience and love to rise and try again. It is in this act of return, of perseverance, that we truly elevate our vibration. Because by persisting in our intention to grow, we show the universe that even amidst difficulties, we choose the light. Our internal garden, our spiritual antenna, our choice between wolves, all these metaphors point to the same place. The power we have to choose how to live, how to feel, and how to interact with the universe. Each of us has the power to be an agent of change, starting with ourselves. By elevating our own vibration, we are contributing to creating a more harmonious world, where more people can connect with what is most true and elevated within themselves. So, in this journey of high vibration, I invite you to reflect on your daily choices. How can you feed the wolf of love? What seeds do you want to plant in your internal garden? How can you adjust your antenna to catch only the frequencies that elevate you and connect you to the divine? Raising our vibration is a continuous journey, a daily practice, and it is through this journey that we discover the depth and beauty of our own essence. Every step we take, every choice we make, brings us closer to a fulfilling life, a life aligned with the greater purpose of the universe, a life that flows in harmony with all that exists. Now we come to the end of our journey, to the point where we look at everything we've explored and take the next step, transforming this understanding into concrete action, into real change. It's here that theory turns into practice, that inspiration becomes movement, and that the desire to elevate one's vibration becomes a true commitment to transformation. I ask you, are you ready to align your frequency with your highest purpose? Are you prepared to leave behind what no longer serves you, the limiting beliefs, the emotions that imprison you, and make way for a new vibration, a new way of being and living? Aligning with a higher vibration is not something that happens overnight, but it is something that starts now, the moment you consciously decide to commit to this journey. Every practice we discussed along this path, be it meditation, conscious breathing, grounding, or simply cultivating positive thoughts, is a piece of the puzzle that makes up a life of high vibration. You don't need to do everything at once, nor do you need to be perfect. Just choose one small step, one small practice, and dedicate yourself to it every day. Perhaps it's waking up 5 minutes earlier to meditate in silence, or taking a moment at the end of the day to express gratitude for what was good. Perhaps it's practicing forgiveness towards someone or yourself, or going for a walk in nature to feel the connection with the planet. Transformation begins with small gestures, with small choices that, when added up, create a wave of change in your life. Choosing to raise your vibration is choosing to live more consciously. It's choosing to act from a place of love rather than fear, of compassion rather than judgment. And by doing this, you are not only changing your own life but impacting everyone around you. Your elevated energy will be felt by those you interact with. It will serve as a source of inspiration for those who also seek a fuller and more harmonious life. So I encourage you, start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect alignment of the stars, or that feeling of being completely prepared. The high vibration journey is precisely about that, about starting, about taking the first step, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect. Every step counts, and every step brings us closer to a more authentic and luminous version of ourselves. You have within you the power to transform your energy and, by doing so, transform your life. This power is not in anything external. It is not in someone or something you still need to achieve. It is within you, waiting to be activated. You are the source of your own light, and with every choice you make, you are either nurturing that light or allowing it to fade. Choose to nurture, choose to expand, choose to shine. And if this content has touched you, if you feel you are ready to continue this journey, I invite you to connect with this community, to join all those who are seeking to elevate their vibration and live a life of purpose. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone you love, because the energy we create together grows and strengthens when shared. In this way, we help each other find the way, stay on the journey, and keep growing. Until next time, remember, at every moment you have the power to choose your vibration. May you always choose to vibrate high, may you always choose the path of love, and may your light inspire others to do the same. Transformation starts now, and it starts with you.